Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one of the all on the scene. Broke at the end of the month, flow Joe, kill mo, run it up, keep clean. Never let them touch, fits like temper tantrums. Girl, come back that up, all in the club, and bring all your girlfriends. Girl hopping up about a Pearl 6, Louis speed bag glued to her wrist. She was getting paid, she ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay. We blade thicker than a snigger bag. Talking about she don't come with no baggage. Y'all in her bag, I probably should. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing a check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing a check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed.
Get out of my way. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, bruising runner Leonard Fournette, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll have Matt Ryan calling the shots, the former MVP and 3rd overall pick.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. His first carry. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
third down. Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. A very solid gain of 27. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings have taken a first quarter lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point good by Catanzaro. And that makes the score 7-0. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. So out now come the Lions. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves him still needing 11 here on third down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to fourth down. So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. Fielded just inside the 20. And he is finally out of bounds across midfield at the 40-yard line. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. And some room to maneuver. And still fighting. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. 21. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Dancing to his left. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's the fullback. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it? We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They get a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Needed 13. They got 14 on third down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first two plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive. Ryan. Complete. He finds Bray. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Here's Hines. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Ryan. Going right side here, and that's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And Sturgis able to knock it through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's being a little honest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way. And
Philip Dorsett by himself. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 53 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Well, Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They begin the drive with Hines, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsauer, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss rolling in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme. Come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
And give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On second down, here's Fournette. And some space here. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And they've got it here with a first down. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now Leonard Fournette. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25.
22! Four down. Check. 280. All right, 25. 27.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. C.J. Anderson of the game. He gets it here. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 9 yards on the gain there, so from 2nd and 19, now we've got a 3rd and 10.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The pitch to Fournette. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. He goes full extension, and he's got it. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a 1st down. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Cat and 0 out now as he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Pushes past him. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On 2nd down, Ryan. And Brake has it over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He's got the hook up to Lee. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver where any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. From the gun, it's Ryan. Going to throw right side here, complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Ball start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, 1st and goal. They go play action now. Ryan. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll Set them back 5.
Still third
Bad
down.
time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. From the shotgun, Ryan. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Marquise Lee, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer.
I know what the scoreboard says here, but for all those who are playing fantasy football, their scoreboards are different. Points scored could benefit someone.
Sturgis adds the PAT, and that will shave one more off this lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So 1:56 to play in this first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
21.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hall. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. They give him 12 yards and a 1st down. This offense number 1 in the NFL in picking up 1st downs, and their run game got him another one there.
A really good stat to lead the league in, isn't it? Because if you keep picking up 1st downs, sustaining drives, that means you're controlling the football, controlling the clock, and letting your defense rest on the sidelines.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Flush to his right. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll go with a big bank Fournette. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And Detroit getting set to go now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On second down, Anderson. And down he goes just beyond the 35. And that pretty move got him some extra space to run. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. 3rd and 2, now Ryan. Lee's got it over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They go play action here on first down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. That's caught right side by Anderson. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Here's Ryan to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. He's going to fire one deep over. He's got him in, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll kick things off with one of the best rivalries in football. The New York Giants on the road in Big D. And it's the Giants who have the lead as they approach halftime. The Giants locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. Next, we're off to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Corey Davis, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Sammy Watkins, a touchdown reception. In the game you're watching, it was Jimmy Garoppolo, who was brilliant in that first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half.
Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And Brake, the tight end's got it. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They give it to Anderson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Ryan, over the middle, complete. It's Lee, and he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you could actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And he will find his man on the outside. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, but not them just taking it. Big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many, because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. Well, they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They begin with a run by Fournette. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And the Lions Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Garoppolo. And able to find Dorsett. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. Garoppolo looks to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
11.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. He's going to rifle one deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
Go.
They go play action with Ryan. He's going to sling this deep downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play on 3rd down for the Lions. And even 50 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
To throw is Ryan. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Marquise Lee with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He's got his man on the crossing route. Philip Dorsett by himself. Touchdown, Vikings. Touchdown pass number 4 of the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Detroit getting set to go now. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on. That was an example of excellent defense there. They stuffed him. So now it brings up a third down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Carter, we read a great article this week arguing for him to be Defensive Player of the Year. Normally sacks are the big thing that people point to, but what he's done in the secondary has been something special.
It has been, because it's been an all-around game for him. Taking the ball away, rushing the quarterback and sacking him himself, doing a number of different things that change the way the game is played.
Garoppolo on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
That Garoppolo, maybe a free play. And they drop him for a loss, but penalty markers are on the field. Let's see about the call.
Offside, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Garoppolo again. Shakes off the sack. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Ready? Line 25! Line 25 tonight! Here we go!
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, Ryan. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Ryan. Complete. He finds Blake. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 46, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But it really increased.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 51 yards. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And nearly intercepted. That would have been a hat trick, his 3rd pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Let's go.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And this will be taken at the 13. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll toss it to Fournette. And some room to work. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Now the backup, A.J. McCarron. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now McCarron. His pass caught at the 4. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Did you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Cat and 0 out now as he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Lions now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
To throw again is Ryan. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Greer. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard, stop short of the 35.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
On second down, here's Ryan. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Back 25.
On first down, Ryan. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Looking to throw on second down. Ryan. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Third and long. It's Ryan. He's going to let it fly. And now here's another interception. A.J. Bournier with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
It's a big one there for the Vikings. And even 50 yards.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now a desperate. And my goodness, another interception. A.J. Boye with a pick. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Back to the air, Ryan after the pick six. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
11.
Oh, Garoppolo's going to throw it. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.